Good afternoon. My name is Casey Torrey. I'm a Round Lake Area Chamber Board member, and I want to thank you all for coming here today for our annual mayoral luncheon. Right now, if you're a Chamber Board member, if you could just raise your hand. I just want to recognize we have several Chamber Board members in the area. If you'd like to come up and say hi to us and see what the Round Lake Area Chamber is all about, we'd be more than happy to give you a little bit more information. Today, I want you to join me in thanking ComEd along with their representative, Joseph Turnage, for actually sponsoring our event today. We also like to thank Catered Productions for the fabulous lunch, and of course, Nothing But Cakes for the delicious desserts. If you're sitting right now and you look at your chair and you actually have a piece of blue tape on it, you get to take the bundt cake from the center on your way home. So now everybody's going to start switching chairs. But again, we'd like to thank ComEd and everybody's going for the bundt cakes. And as well, we'd like to thank WRLR for recording this luncheon today. Everybody's looking for they're very popular cakes. Does anybody see a piece of blue tape? I'll let Shanna point it out to you guys later. She can help you look. Well, thank you for joining our activity. That was our activity this afternoon, was trying to find blue tape on your chair to get a bundt cake. No, nobody found a tape. Not one. Oh, we've got one. Joseph Turnage is going to be coming up and saying just a few words as our sponsor today.
Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, yeah, we're pretty quiet today. Let's try this again. Good afternoon, everyone. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, so in starting out, just want to give a little bit of introduction to myself or about myself. So I'm Joseph Turnage. I am the External Affairs Manager for ComEd. Been around the company for about 18 years now, so been in a lot of different roles as far as the company goes, and so overall, just pretty honored to be here today. When Shauna called me and asked me if I'd be willing to say a few words, I had no idea what I would get up here and say, but I did think of a few things as I approached the facility here, and ironically, when I got out of my car, the cold air hit me. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute, something's wrong here, because when I left the house, it was the same temperature as it is right now. So I was coming from another meeting, and ironically, I was so excited to get here today that I left my coat at the other meeting. So I mean, in all, I'm very honored to be here, and I'm very honored to be a member of this chamber. And I'm also very honored to be in a position where I could support the municipalities, especially this one. You know, over time, the Round Lake area, you know, this is just from my experience, I've seen this area as a little bit different from a lot of the other municipalities that I've served. And one of the things I like about this particular area is you're all kind of family oriented. You know, it feels like family to me when I come up here and when I meet with your elected officials, with your mayors. In addition to that, even when I have to go out and speak with a lot of the residents, you know, everybody is so welcoming, and that's a good thing. I like that. ComEd, we want to also be good neighbors to the municipalities, to you guys, to the residents. And one of the things that we do is we try to do that through a lot of different ways. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that we're transparent. We want the entire municipality to reach out to us whenever there's concerns, whenever there's things that they feel like we can help with, sponsorships, whether we could support the community as far as empowering the community to be able to save money on the utility bills, and in addition to that, be able to report outages and things like that to us. And we do have those mechanisms in place, one of which I'll talk about briefly is our e-channels. You know, that's an opportunity for customers to empower themselves. You guys all know the old days of having to call ComEd, and over time we've heard a few things about folks having to wait online and things like that, but nowadays we've grown to the point where customers can now submit their outages through our ComEd app. You know, in addition to a few other things, even when we look at overall reliability in the community, you know, we've gone from a place where we're not satisfied about, and we've now gotten to a point where, you know, a lot of the outages, they're very minimal. And when we do experience an outage because of the different distribution devices that we have on the system, we are able to get power restored expeditiously. So those are things that we definitely want to keep on going with. And, you know, at the conclusion, overall ComEd wants to make sure that we're good neighbors. We love being good partners to the community. And again, if you guys ever have any questions or concerns about anything, I'm always around. The mayors know how to get in contact with me. Most of you guys do as well. And just say, don't hesitate to give us a call. And if you see our trucks out there and, you know, you see that we're good, doing a very good job, stop by and say, hey, great job, ComEd. Keep those lights on and keep doing the good job that you're doing. All right, so thank you. I'll let you guys get back to your food because I definitely want to get back to mine. And thank you guys for having me, and I'm honored and I appreciate you. Thanks.
You know, it's funny that Joseph talks about community because I remember that outage when we had the wind storms, what was it, 5-10 years ago? And everybody came together. We were all at Kmart and McDonald's because nobody had any power. We were all using the internet, grabbing water. It was incredible. But the whole community came together. Just like that outage, and ComEd did a wonderful job getting us back online. Like the floods a few years ago, seeing our community come together was absolutely incredible. And there are a lot of reasons why our community does come together is because we have amazing leadership at the Round Lake area community. And today we are going to actually hear from some of those leaders representing the following villages. We have Round Lake Park, Mayor Linda Lucassen; Round Lake Heights, Mayor Lumpkins; Round Lake the Village, Dan MacGillis; Round Lake Beach, Mayor Richard Hill; and the Village of Haynesville is unable to attend, but we will be reading a prepared statement for them. But a round of applause for our mayors, and we'll start with Mayor Linda Lucassen.
Thank you, everyone. I always look forward to this day, and I never think I'm never going to have enough to say or have too much to say, but I certainly look forward to it. I appreciate your attendance, and I hope you enjoy hearing what we all have to say. I would like to introduce I'd like to introduce to you my elected officials that are here today. Trustee Bob Soretti, Trustee Culp, and unfortunately I had Trustee Rogowski that was going to be in attendance, and she took a spill yesterday. So we wish her well. Also with me today is Chief Valenko, Building Commissioner Brian Newsom, Public Works Superintendent Scott Fernbach, and Kathy Sausalito, our new neighborhood service coordinator. For the fourth consecutive year, the village operated at a surplus. New equipment and vehicles have been purchased for both the police department and our public works department while maintaining the surplus. The village has now, and I'm very proud to say this, the village has now successfully funded the police pension fund at over 88%. With our current funding levels, we will have no problem meeting the state of Illinois funding requirements. Public Works is always putting their best efforts in maintaining and upkeeping our community. Completed the replacement of all the street signs, improving drainage, ditching, and culvert replacement throughout the village. Addressed some flooding issues with replacing intersection culverts and 130 feet of old sewer line with new 12-inch PVC pipe. This past year, they were able to help with the rebuild of the gazebo in Greenwood Park, which was then dedicated in a small ceremony overseen by Reverend Kaufman in memory of our longtime village trustee, Don Newby. The village has updated their water meter reading system to Neptune 360, eliminating cost equipment, allowing the use of smartphones to accurately receive the meter data with the Neptune app. 24/7 cistern monitoring, ability to identify potential problems and be able to resolve issues faster. Public Works updated their fleet for a snowplow with the new Ford F550. Also, with a grant provided by IPRF, we acquired a new trench box and an air monitor and other safety equipment. The Department of Building and Zoning, as the Building and Zoning winds down, we have the opportunity to analyze our outcome of the year and plan for the coming season. The village has partnered with community partners for affordable housing to transform vacant and blighted property in the community into a completely new home. We have acquired 3 properties, one of which has been sold, one is under contract, and the other one is still in the process of being remodeled. Our annual rental program closes its 5th year with great success, and the crime-free housing program continues to grow every year. The rental program has helped our community highly by maintaining stability and preserve value of our area properties. Our Round Lake Area Police Department, a way out of Lake County. This is a great program that helped assist our residents and their loved ones alleviate the direct and indirect effects of opioid abuse. Round Lake Park once again participated in the annual Lake County Law Enforcement Veterans Coat Drive and partnered this year with Veterans Closet, who have also identified families of our wounded warriors that are in need of assistance during the holiday season. We've extended our charitable funds to provide families that are identified by the Veterans Closet. Shop with a Cop, this is over 25 years. A group of the law enforcement officers and a group of our special children and their families gather to share in the spirit of giving. Over the years, we have identified individual families that needed assistance above and beyond Shop with a Cop. This was a successful event with help of our volunteers and our police officers for the different police departments. The Adopt a Family program is a special program that provides hope and joy along with toys, clothing, Christmas trees, and lights for children, seniors, and our veterans during the season that is supposed to be the happiest time of the year. A new partnership has emerged with a non-for-profit organization. This program is to ensure unclaimed abandoned bicycles that the police department recovers are distributed to those in need. Countless bicycles are discarded or sit unused in garages in the United States every year. But in developing country, a bicycle can truly change the life of an individual, their family, and their community. Working Bikes donates over $6,500 each year to international and local partners. The Round Lake Park Police Department will continue to distribute bicycles to our community as well. We were recently contacted by a veterans organization and hope to partner with them in the future. Updates from our Village Hall. Many things have been happening this year with us. One, we celebrated Norma Nelson for 25 years of her service. As mentioned before, we've updated our meter reading program, which will help our office staff with quick and simple access to help resolve customer service calls. This program uses performance indicators that assist in identifying areas of concerns and finding ways to maximize them. Our in-house collection has implemented now for 2 years with great outcome, and now we have recently enrolled in the Illinois Local Debt Recovery Program that will help with collect through state tax refunds. The village has hired a part-time staff person to continue with our e-filing that will eliminate unnecessary paper files and provide easy access to needed documents. Some updates from the Round Lake Park community. The village, along with Groot, now provide 2 annual cleanup services for our residents, with one held in the spring and one held in the fall. Our Public Works and Police Department participated in the 10th annual Touch a Truck by Avon Township. This past year we were able to host a partnership with Sam Yingling and Swelco and a free shredding event for our residents with great outcome. A great event that helps our residents dispose of their personal and confidential information in a secure manner. We continue to hold our annual coat drive and give back to those in need in our area. It is strongly encouraged to our residents to dispose of unneeded items in a proper manner by providing them with an updated information of all our Swelco events and the contact information on our website. Our village continues to be part of the shoe and textile recycling program offered by Swelco. The village partnered with Catholic Charities to other different programs for seniors in our area. Closing this year with our tree lighting themed Polar Express with partnership of our Murphy School students. The kids enjoyed walking down the track to meet Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus, taking pictures and snacks. We had a great outcome. Looking toward the future for the village around Lake Park in 2020, as we start the new year, we look forward to keep working side by side with affordable housing and our community rehab program. Public Works will continue to improve the village's storm sewer system. They will also keep replacing culverts around the community to upkeep the residential drainage and resurface a few streets in the coming season. The village will be upgrading computers and software along with our phone system. We are considering the option of providing our residents with an automatic phone line for payments. We provide and maintain our residents informed and up-to-date them through our website, social media, and our newsletter. At this time, I'd like to say thank you for your attention, and I hope to see you next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Lucassen and the Village of Round Lake Park. Next, we would like the Round Lake Heights Mayor Lumpkins to come up.
Well, I was going to start today by saying, thank you to the Chamber for having me. But the second part I was going to do is something that I thought I was going to be first today. So I was going to say, for all of you guys that have been here before, you're going to realize that from my speech is going to be quick and short and sweet, and they're only going to get much better as they go on. But Linda took that away because she went first, so I can't do that. But on a good note, guys, I've been mayor for a long time with the other mayors, and I kind of started on it last year and just kind of touched base on it. We did a study, the four of the villages, because consolidation has always been talked about, in our village and every village. And something different that we did, the four mayors, which was nice, and I don't think, to be honest with you, if it wasn't for the four of us, and I've seen a lot of mayors come and go, a lot of them passed away, a lot of them been good friends of mine. The four of us, for the longest time that we've been mayor and that we've been working together, we really do work very well together. And it's really important for every community. Some, of the mayors, they don't intertwine with other people. We really do. We care about each other's communities. We're always looking to better our communities ourselves, but we're not looking to hold back another community if something goes there. It really, really is important, especially being our size. I rely on the other towns. We're the smallest of the four communities, so I'm always looking at different things. And one of the things that came out of the NIU study, which I'm sure the other mayors are going to say much better than I do, is shared services. Now, with shared services, that to me is much better than consolidation because we get to keep our own identity, which was one of the things that we always strive for. Some of the different things that we do in our community, other communities don't do, which we wouldn't be able to do that if we were consolidated. And the taxing bodies and everything else would just be blown up as it is. Especially, in the village of Round Lake Heights, we're very proud of something. We're one of the lowest taxing districts in Lake County. We're 10th out of 46 villages. That, to me, we fought very, very hard to keep it that low. And obviously, we only collect the money that's collected, but we're able to budget our budget on that amount, and we're solvent. We don't have a problem with that. But it is so important that I don't think people realize all the different things that we do as a joint venture, from the school district, the park districts, the library districts. I can only emphasize what Comment said. We really are one unity that is separate identities throughout our towns, and it's very, very important. We share so many different services, and I'm going to bring up one of the examples that we do. Round Lake Beach, we were buying our water forever, ever since Jawa started. Round Lake Heights bought their water from Round Lake Beach. Well, for years we couldn't come to a conclusion. It's because of, I believe, and I probably would still be struggling with it if it wasn't for Mayor Hill. Mayor Hill and myself sat down. We were able to work things out in probably less than an hour, got it through our boards, and they all saw the positive on it. Now that agreement is solved. That doesn't mean that the Heights won't go out one day for a tower and have our own water connection, but right now it's on hold. We're happy with the way it is, and it's all working for us. We have a unique situation in the beach in the Heights. We have a business that's going to open up shortly. Back in the heyday, it was on Rollins Road. It was called the old Nix's Furniture, Ashley Furniture, which a lot of people have saw that building not do anything with. Well, now we have a business owner going to go in, and what's unique is each of the villages, myself and Round Lake Beach, are not fighting over the district anymore. We used to share taxes that was generated out of that building. It's a unique situation because half the building is in the Heights, half the building is in the beach. If two people didn't get along, that business owner would have a nightmare. Now he's able to, he's going to put 8 units in there, 5 because the beach is bigger, so they're going to get 5. The Heights is going to get 3. Well, it's okay. I can live with that. So we get a parking lot, they get businesses. It's all right. But either way, it's because of us getting along together. Each one of us want to do the best thing for our communities and not take anything away from somebody else. We share, like I said, everything. The only thing they're not sharing yet is the administrators, which I'm very frustrated with. I don't know why Rich and everyone else can't share their administrator with me, but maybe we can talk about it later. But either way, all I can say on that note is we really do work good together, and I'm glad to have the mayors that are up here now because we really are united, and which is very important. Okay, now we can get to the quick part, guys. This year is our 60th anniversary coming up for the village. It's scary that I've actually been a mayor for almost half of those years. We're going to do something unique. We're going to have the residents or school districts, we're going to put everything out to do a flag for the village. It'll be, once the flag is awarded, we'll fly it over the village hall for the remainder of the year. And I'm hoping that the students and everyone else gets involved with it, the park districts, everybody, and hopefully we can get a lot of applications on it and we're able to pick something that'll be very proud that we'll be able to fly it for years to come. Another thing that the village is very proud of, and I think Lynn touched it a little bit about, is longevity in the village. We reached a milestone. For a small village, we're always fighting to keep our employees there because obviously, unfortunately, because of our structure, we're not the highest paid. We do basically have 2 employees celebrating 25 years. 2 other employees are basically coming up to their 20th year anniversary, and we have 3 employees obviously coming up to their 10-year anniversary, which for us, that means a lot for a small municipality. We're retaining the people that we have for the first time, and they're staying, and they'll probably retire with us, which is actually kind of nice. We've upgraded our seniors. We've always been very important to the village of Round Lake Heights. We've always tried to do the most we can do for them. We do snow plowing still to this day for all our seniors that live there. All discounted rates they get on the village portion for any type of permits or anything they do, we try to work with them a lot. We've had several demolitions in the older sections of towns where they're basically tearing down the homes and they're building new homes. We're actually on our 3rd one now, and it looks like we might have a couple more right after that, which is actually nice. It just shows that they're reinvesting in the community, and it just continues to rehab, especially the older section of town. The Dollars for Scholars program, something I'm very proud of. We started in 2001. We're coming up to our 20th year anniversary. So far, we've given away 256 scholarships, totaling $152,000 to anybody that wants to do further education. And a lot of them, they stay on the program for 4 or 5, even sometimes 6 years, depending on their college education. In 2019, we've completed most of the roads in the village. We have less than 1/3 to do. And then we'll start the project all over again and repaving the roads. But right now it looks like we're doing very well. We started our sidewalk program. We started replacing all the sidewalks in the village. We replaced probably about 1/3. It's a 3-year program, and we'll be completed with that shortly. Last year, we completed our 6th year of our tree removal. One of the things that we did wrong is when we had the development come in, one of the developments, we put trees on the easement because we thought it was good and the developer wanted it. Well, it ended up not being such a good thing, so we're starting to remove them out as they die. We've removed over 250 trees so far in the new developments, removing them from the easements and putting them back on the owner's responsibility. Now, when we do remove the tree that is dead, we do give that residence $100 to replace that tree somewhere on their property as long as they're willing to do so. And a lot of them have taken advantage of that. ComEd this year will be replacing our street lights, going to LED, so we're excited about that, and that'll be throughout the village. Our water main system, we're going to extend it. We have a property on Fairfield and Rollins. We finished up a concept plan on it, and now we're bringing water to the property. We go out to bid in February through a couple grants we received, so we'll be able to have water on that property, so when the developer does come in, they'll have water and sewer ready to go. One of the things I did tell you about that I'm extremely proud of is our tax rate. And again, with the village, we have no debt. We haven't had debt in several years now. Everything that we have is paid for, which is very important to us. One last note is that we have a Veterans Park that we built a few years ago. We've been adding plaques to it. We charge the residents $30. They get to put a plaque of anybody that's served in any of our military services, and we actually put it on the wall. And again, thank you very much for having me. Hopefully I didn't take too much of your time, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Round Lake Heights, and thank you, Mayor Lumpkins. Next is the Village of Round Lake, Dan MacGillis.
Thank you, everybody. It's always an honor to speak at the Chamber's Mayoral Luncheon. I do enjoy this event, and I have to thank the Chamber for having this again, and of course for ComEd for sponsoring this, and also WRLR, our radio station, for recording this and broadcasting. It's very, very important to give all of them a round of applause. Each year I speak of the unity of our communities and how the Chamber helps bind us together. This year, I'm so proud to say that the relationship of our communities is at its strongest. As Mayor Lumpkins mentioned, we've been working for the last couple of years on this shared service initiative, which has brought us together, working together as a whole, and not, as he said, keeping our own identity, but looking at the area as a whole, which is the very premise of what the Chamber does. And that's why I'm glad that this has been talked about at this event, because it is really about the whole entire area. And I'm proud to say that we've been working on these things. We have benefits, we're making accomplishments, and we'll continue to keep working together. Round Lake is the proud home of the finest park districts, the library, Greater Round Lake Area Fire Protection District, providing all of our residents the best services that the county has to offer. Round Lake is also home to Round Lake Area School District 116, and it touches 5 other school districts. District 116 continues to perform and excel past the standards. Shared services also invites other taxing districts like those that I just mentioned. We worked with District 116 to lease our annex building for a new welcome center that they desperately needed. The school district was in need of that space in the community, and the lease agreement was a win for the village to have an empty building leased out, and a win for the school district to have the space they needed, and a win for the taxpayers to have 2 government agencies working together to utilize the existing space in a fiscally responsible manner. And that's what the shared service initiative is providing us. Different visions to work with other taxing entities that benefits the entire area, just not the single individual. We've also partnered with the Greater Round Lake Fire Protection District to offer lodging for a new fire crew at our Public Works building while Fire Station 1 is under construction. This agreement provides a crew, a fire truck, and an ambulance to be available for immediate dispatch on the south side of the metro tracks in the event of a life-threatening emergency. If it wasn't for a cooperative like this, if there was something that happened in Lakewood, Grove, Valley Lakes, any place on the south side of the metro tracks, and if there was a train there, we wouldn't have the ability to have first responders get to us in a timely manner. We have and we will continue to work with the library and the park district. The village has partnered with the Round Lake Area Park District to install 4 new bicycle racks downtown, which supports a multimodal transportation effort and recreational benefits that supply support for the area. We collaborated with the Chamber of Commerce to bring the farmers market to downtown Round Lake. Fresh produce, vendors, businesses, activities, live acoustic music is a family-friendly experience. It also has supported efforts made by the Round Lake Area Garden Club, the Bicycle Club, the library, and it provides a wonderful opportunity for, again, the entire area. If you didn't make it out there last year, you're missing it. We have entertainment. It's a small, quaint thing. It's walkability to downtown. You have access to other businesses, and it's just a great place to network and be with people. And God approved of it. We had fantastic weather on every single one of the events. It was really good. Lake County and the village of Round Lake partnered together to construct an interconnect between the Brooks Farm and Round Lake water systems. This allows for the county and the village to supply water to each other when repairs are made or during emergency situations when a normal source of water supply is unavailable. We partnered with the 911 regional consolidation discussions and continue to work with the surrounding communities to explore the possibilities of sharing that service to a possible higher degree and benefit everybody again. There's a common theme here today, isn't there? These partnerships do not happen without leadership and great management. The village of Round Lake is managed by a team made up of our administration, department heads, employees, elected officials. The team's job is to develop trust, uphold fiduciary responsibility, and provide a level of transparency while creating the plans that keeps Round Lake on track to offer the best housing, the highest degree of public safety, and the best services to our residents. And I'd like to introduce that team now. Our elected officials, my absolute favorite, the face of Round Lake, Madam Clerk, Debbie Perlini. Also, Trustee Sanjay Patel, Trustee Henry Fry Jr., Trustee Russ Craley, and of course our senior trustee that's always here, sometimes a thorn in my side, but always for a good reason, Don Newby. Along with that, our administration, the chief of the pack, Steve Shields, our village administrator. Terry, I'd work with you, but I keep him too busy. Finance director, Wade Frericks, Who else is here? And of course, Public Works Director Adam Weedoff, and Community and Economic Development Katie Parkhurst. They're the ones that keep us on track. They're the ones that keep us moving forward in the right direction and to be able to provide the good services, not only for our community, but for the local area in itself. For several years, I've reported about reorganizing our departments, and I'm proud to say that today the Village of Round Lake is operating at a higher level of efficiency than ever before. We continue to seek improvements. All of our departments function as a multi-level organization. We are no longer linear. That allows for each department a structure for employees to progress and provide initiatives to advance themselves. We continue providing opportunities for training our employees, giving them the best tools to do their job, keeping them safe, and provide the best services to our residents. It has allowed them to be more effective, more accountable, and take pride in their respective positions. Our employees are definitely our most valued commodity. As far as planning, we continue to grow and govern through the opportunities that a couple years ago we put in place Round Lake's first strategic plan and management's overall vision evaluation, otherwise known as the MOVE memo. This has allowed our trustees and our administration to have a better platform for communication and understanding than ever before. We are much more effective at identifying and prioritizing our tasks and goals. The end result is maximizing planning for development, housing opportunities, commerce, and industry, all of which leads to why do we do this? What's it all about? What is our role? What does every one of these leaders do this for? And it's one simple answer: to provide the best benefits to our residents that we can possibly do. That is our job, to enrich their life. Community and economic development has made some significant improvements. This year, I'm proud to say that the village received a Code Enforcement Agency of the Year award from the State of Illinois Association of Code Enforcement. Receiving this award is a huge accomplishment, and I think that definitely deserves a round of applause. Katie, great job. Your team is fantastic. Many new programs were implemented, including the village's first residential rental program, which, again, working together. This was an initiation that we sought and got help from Round Lake Park. Mayor Lucassen and her team helped us develop this. And again, as Terry said, we're working together continuously. We have an upgraded software system to include tablet use for field inspections and demolishing structures to improve the overall appearance of our neighborhoods. We also became a founding member and serve on the newly implemented board of the Lake County Land Bank Authority. We continue to engage with Lake County Division of Transportation on the Cedar Lake Road realignment. It's not dead. We're still working on it. And recently conducted a feasibility study for a downtown, can I say it, Steve? For a downtown TIF development district. And I say that because I'm in there and I can't promote it. So I'm not promoting it. I'm just telling you that we're doing it. We continue to encourage development in the community. A new building for Gerber Collision and Glass was completed on Route 134. Catholic Charities broke ground on a 29,000-foot community center building. Construction of the North Shore Paving office and shop in our industrial park. Renovation of the athletic stadium for Round Lake High School, and 11 new businesses opened. The village has sufficient water and sewer revenues earmarked for their operation maintenance, along with nearly $12 million in planned capital infrastructure improvements without issuing any debt over the next 5 years. We also refunded one of our bonds, saving nearly $1 million over the life of the remaining term. We watched what was spent and received more than expected revenues, ending the year $775,000 under the budget expected net position. We have maintained Moody's third highest bond rating for how many years in a row now, Steve? A lot. Public Works, everybody will talk about it. Maintaining infrastructure is critical to all municipalities. The village continued resurfacing roadways, completing over 4,200 feet of roadway, along with some storm sewer repairs, sidewalk, curb and gutter replacement. We also had the ability this year to do a street patching program, targeting several locations throughout the village, and fixed over 7,800 square yards of pavement. We also replaced 2,800 square feet of sidewalk and over 1,300 feet of curb and gutter. You know, I wish that you could make statements like that and say that it's fixed, it's done. It's not. This continues to go on every year. You have to have programs in place. You have to have a vision in place. This takes planning. If it doesn't, you're going to get behind the 8 ball and you'll never catch up. So bravo to those people, the engineering departments, all of our staff that works on these things, because without it, your community is going to crumble. The construction of the new CLC Jawa booster pump stations underway. Last year, the completion of the southern transmission line, which runs on the very southern edge of Round Lake. We put a T intersection onto that, and we have a receiving facility that's already built and in place. So we now can get water from Jawa at a second point. This year, we're going to put a booster pump in. That's been budgeted for, and that will go online sometime, I hope, at the end of the year. Am I correct, Adam? And we'll have that other ability to have water as a second place to get into the village of Round Lake. Provides a level of redundancy that we're really happy to have. The other thing that it does is it increases a tremendous amount of water pressure in the southern areas of town. These are things that you think, well, okay, water doesn't come out of the faucet fast enough. Unfortunately, in the last couple of years, we've had 2 major house fires there. And luckily, our fantastic fire department was able to contain those and not have it spread. But if Mother Nature would have done what she's been doing now, and there would have been high winds, dry conditions, and if that fire would have spread to a neighboring house, we would not have sufficient water pressure to battle another fire. With this additional line on, that has been alleviated, and I think it's tremendously important. Our police department. Our Citizens Police Academy last fall was our largest and most attended academy to date. National Night continues to grow and becomes more and more popular each year. I didn't make the note. How many hot dogs did we do last year? Do you remember? It was close to 1,000. A couple years ago it was 200, then it went to 400, 500, and last year we were close to 1,000 hot dogs, and that's how we measure success. The Round Lake Police Department was recognized for helping raise $5,538 for Special Olympics Illinois last year. Sergeant Peter Marquardt, Officer Kevin Furlon, and Officer Nelson Rodriguez were presented with a Life Savings Award in the past year. They saved people's life in our community. Sergeant Craig Kapuzinski will graduate tomorrow from the Northwestern University Center for Public Safety School of Police and Staff and Command. Sergeant Kapuzinski will be Round Lake's 7th active duty police supervisor to graduate from that prestigious police management school, and I take great pride in that. The village has completed and implemented a new financial software system. The new software has improved operational efficiencies, provides visibility to more detailed information, and offers new online options for residents and business owners, saving time and money. In the effort to reach out, the village launched a new redesign on our website. The new website features fresh design, easier navigation, new tools that makes it ever easier for our residents to find information and be able to communicate with us. We also published a new community video to highlight everything in Round Lake has to offer. Residents, businesses, and areas like the chamber. Anything that you need, you can go online and see it. It's very navigable. And my message would not be complete if I didn't make this statement that I always do. Together, we have a residency of nearly 60,000 people. That's a real number. And we're united by the chamber. The chamber binds us together. Shared services are binding us together. Our great schools, park district, fire district, library, forest preserves, quality housing, public safety. The Round Lake area is a shining gem in Western Lake County. Everybody in this room helps make that happen. Have pride in our communities. I know I do. I'm proud to be from here. We do a fantastic job. And each and every one of you should tilt your hat to yourself because you're a part of it. I just want to say one other thing. Joe Turnage from ComEd mentioned about we're like a big family here. And tragically, last month I lost my wife. And how you people reached out to me to support me. I had to start putting a sign on my door to stop you guys from bringing food over. You reached out, you gave condolences, you supported me, and you're right, Joe. That's what a community does. You came together, and I'm so proud to be a part of this area. I can't express it enough. Have a great 2020.
Thank you, Mayor MacGillis. Next is Round Lake Beach, Mayor Rich Hill.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's always an honor to be here to speak to the Chamber of Commerce. Our businesses are really our lifeblood of our communities, and you all know that already, but you're the ones that really help us, our residents, be close by their shopping, about their services. You help fund the community for so many things with sales tax and the property taxes, and we appreciate you being in the whole Round Lake area, and we look forward to more moving here as time goes on. Let's see, we also have from my village today, we have one of our trustees, Scott Nichols. We have our village administrator, Dave Kilbane, our chief of police, Gil Rivera, economic development director, Lisa Puglisi, finance director, Matt Rossi. Matt just returned with us. He was gone for a short time, then he realized he made a bad mistake, so he came back. And our public works director, Scott Hills. These are the people that really run the village day to day. They make things happen, and they make us all look very good. It was very nice to hear from the other mayors, also all commenting on the work we do together. We meet at least quarterly to kind of go through things, share ideas, share work concepts, whether it be bidding on projects or sharing projects, whether we talk about streetscaping on City Lake Road that hits a couple different communities, or Route 134. There's so many different things that we can work together to get things done that look better for you, the residents, and the businesses in town, as well as make it easier for our communities and our villages to afford it. So it's been a great thing. We did complete that survey, and we talked about it a little bit off and on, but today we went into it a little more in depth than we have in the past. We did complete the survey of the community for the whole Round Lake area, not just each individual village. We did all 4 communities all at once. We used the expertise of the Northern Illinois University Center for Government Studies to make sure that we did have a good random sample of residents out there, and it wasn't just one certain group that got touched. So that worked out very well for us. Our police and community working together to find solutions has always been a common theme for the whole Round Lake area. You heard people talk about National Night Out and Shop with a Cop and all the other events that we try to hold with our communities. Police and public safety services are viewed as the most important and the top priority by the residents that responded to the survey, which we all kind of knew, I think, before the survey, but it's nice to have that reinforced a little bit. The majority of our residents also rated the quality of these services either good or excellent, and that's across all 4 communities, not just Round Lake Beach. We do need to do a better job in educating the public on the programs. We operate in Round Lake Beach. I know there's a lot of residents that were unaware of things that we're doing. So we'll try to work on that to make sure they're fully aware of what's going on and what our village board and what our staff does. Round Lake Beach Police and the Foundation have been very busy and very active in 2019. The Foundation raised funds for and held a Heroes Grove dedication. It's right in front of our police station. They're going to be building a kind of memorial out there. You can go sit and reflect on life or just come and enjoy the area. You can see the dedication on the bottom left over there. They also, and along with many others, participated in National Night Out, one of our most successful events throughout the course of the year. Shop with a Cop is also another great event that's been going on for years, and Round Lake Park brought to the Round Lake area. We appreciate that, and of course we copied off them because it was easier. Public Works and Street Maintenance is a number 2 issue for most of the residents. While many of the residents appreciate the improvements we've made over the years, not just in Round Lake Beach, but throughout the community, there's still a large section, I know, in Round Lake Beach, our older section, that's taken years and years to improve. One of the big issues we have, the streets are very small, the right-of-ways are not very large, the water mains all need to be replaced because they were put in back in the 40s and some before that. So it's much more expensive than just resurfacing. A lot of these roads we have to rebuild. We rip it out completely, go down about a foot, put all the gravel bases in and build it all the way back up. And that's much more expensive than an easy resurface job. We do have a plan to complete all the streets over the years, but again, it's a process that takes years. And as someone else mentioned, once we complete that process, we'll start again from square one and go through the cycle. We do have a rating system that our engineers go out and rate the streets, so we make sure we hit the worst streets first, and we don't just pick and choose streets because we like that street or we like that area. One of the big projects that we did started last year was Hook Drive was resurfaced, and part of Orchard Lane was also rebuilt over by the Thornton's gas station there. Unfortunately, it was a real bottleneck for several months, and that's why we wanted to get that section done because that's where the high traffic volume is based on the shopping plazas. And this year, then, we're going to finish rebuilding the rest of Orchard Lane and also resurfacing the portion of Hook Drive that's over east of Route 83 also. So I have a nice thoroughfare through there. There's a lot of traffic goes through that area, as I'm sure you're all very well aware. Just a few pictures of the area. Most of you probably saw it live as you're trying to get around in the area. Another project that we've been working on with the Round Lake Area Park District is a shoreline restoration project over at Sunset Park. We actually started shoreline restoration back at our lakefront right on Round Lake several years ago, doing some test areas to find out what kind of shoreline restoration did the best with the waves that come in. And this is another area where I want to make sure that we don't have a lot of erosion going on. So these are the kind of projects that we can do in a lot of small ponds in the area. Intergovernmental partnerships are the focus of many of our Round Lake area mayor meetings that we do hold. Like I said, we started meeting several years ago about once a month, and we cut back to every couple months, and about once a quarter now as we're getting more things put together and we don't have to have so many meetings on them. Here's just a few of the things that we participate in right now. We have the Northwest Facilities Planning Area for wholesale sewer. That's for anyone that sends their effluent over to Fox Lake. We're all members of that. I've been the chairman of that since its inception, and I want to thank Mayor MacGillis for stepping up this last year and taking over the chairmanship from me. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that. We also have the Round Lake Area Park District that all of us work very well with them, because the Round Lake Area Park District is the only other entity that covers all the Round Lake areas entirely. The Greater Round Lake Area Fire Protection District, we all work with them on diesel and gas fuel, and also right now we're housing some of their staff while they're redoing Station Number 1. Round Lake Area School District, we have the rock salt purchasing program, as well as a lot of the use of this facility here. We have municipal partnering initiative with the Public Works purchasing program. We have several of those, one through the Lake County Municipal League. We have the concrete replacement program, pavement patching programs, several different programs we work together on. Lake County Municipal League, as I mentioned, the joint bidding we're doing there for pavement marking, crack sealing, and these are all things that have saved villages a lot of money. The crack sealing and pavement marking, especially when those first came out, we made some significant savings. Sewer televising, which is required by our contract with the Fox Lake sewer plant up there. When we worked with some other communities and Lakeshore Sanitary District, we saved a lot of money on that. Round Lake Beach has been working to get the commercial waste hauler franchise for several years now. As you're probably all aware, most of the residents, I think in all the communities, each community has a contract with a waste hauler, so you don't have 8 different garbage companies driving through the neighborhoods, picking up trash. You got one truck. They stop at all the residents. You have a lot less traffic. You have a lot less work on the roads because you don't have those garbage trucks running up and down them constantly. We're looking to do the same thing for our businesses. As many of you know, I work for Ace Hardware, and we have 9 stores in Lake and McHenry counties, and we have 3 of those stores that they're in communities that have a waste hauler contract for their businesses. Those contracts save us probably 40 to 50% on our cost of waste hauling. So it's a good thing for most communities. I guess there were a few different businesses, I think mostly industrial, that did not save money. They either broke even or paid a few dollars more. But as far as I'm aware, over 90% of the businesses saved money on these kind of contracts. Several years ago, the state of Illinois passed a very sweeping law that made it very difficult for us to implement this. So it's going to take us probably a total of 4 years. I think we have about 1 more year before we can actually start the process. So anyone that's in Round Lake Beach will be hearing from us in probably the next 6 to 8 months. And we look forward to working with you to get some ideas on exactly what we want to do before that time comes. Who would have guessed? 95% of the residents agree it's important to attract new businesses. Astounding revelation there, huh? And being in the Chamber of Commerce here today, we all know that business is the #1 aspect for the Chamber of Commerce, and they're always looking to attract new businesses. So you can see we've had several new businesses open up in the last year in Round Lake Beach. A couple that did some remodeling. Remodeling is also great. We have a lot of older buildings in some of our areas that they purchase. Sometimes they tear them down. Oftentimes it's a younger business or a smaller business will actually try to remodel it, either an old house or an old building, and it turns out very nice also. We already have a couple of businesses committed for 2020, so you can see in the photo here. The survey also showed that the Round Lake area residents prefer certain types of businesses to come to town. Everyone's looking for more restaurants, even though we have over 50 in Round Lake Beach. Grocery stores, which we have 4 major and several minor grocery stores. And also medical services. And medical services, I understand, we're an aging population, and we all need to see the doctors a little more often than we used to. Just some of the restaurants and so forth that are in town here. Community programming and outreach is very important to create a sense of belonging to our community. I've had several fireside chats again last year and plan to do more this year. Actually, next week, Tuesday night, I'm going to be having a fireside chat right here out inside in front of the fireplace. My guest this time will be County Board Member Dick Barr. So if you're free next Tuesday night, 6 p.m., come on over. We have cookies and coffee out, and you can hear more about the county and what the county's doing. Our Cultural and Civic Center, which we're at today, is a perfect location for so many events with the Chamber of Commerce, the Lake County Municipal League, the school districts, park districts, and more. We have a lot of businesses that use the community center. We even had the Kohl's Pop-Up Museum last year in our lower level. They came and set up for about 6 weeks, and we expect them to come back again this year. It was a great opportunity for any of the residents to bring the kids over. It's a great educational program, and the kids just loved it. A lot of parents loved it too. So if they're back this year, if you got kids or grandkids, come on over, stop by. You'll really enjoy it. Fun Fridays is always very well attended for the kids. Again, a lot of the parents enjoy it too. Most won't admit it, but they definitely enjoy it. We have a lot of concerts outdoors in the summertime, and we've begun the indoor concerts in the wintertime. Our first one for 2020 is coming up this coming Saturday, featuring Mike and Joe concert. So if you're free on Saturday night, stop on over. As we all know, festivals bring the community together. A lot of us don't socialize around the block like we used to, where everyone's busy on their phones and their computers, social media, and the festivals bring everyone face to face. So it's a great time. They help to alleviate a lot of issues in communities. And if you're looking to become a friend of the center, we're always looking for more people to get involved with it, to help donate to it. So please check with us on the way out if you're interested in that. I look like I have to get a new picture up there too. That's an oldie. Oh boy. Anyway, once again, we appreciate you all being here today, and thanks for listening to us. And I think we're going to take some questions.
And of course, as mentioned earlier, the Village of Haynesville was unable to attend, so I will read a prepared statement from them. Dear Round Lake Chamber members and guests, thank you for allowing me to present to you in this fashion. As the mayor, village manager, and chief bottle washer, I have a strong preference and tendency to spend my time at the Village Hall. The Village of Haynesville is quite a little cousin of the Round Lake area. We are always around, but we don't draw a lot of attention and we don't ask for much. We are pretty content with who we are and how productive we are. In the past year, we wrapped up a 2-year project by finishing the construction of the Gathering Place, which is a public, environmentally friendly butterfly garden and park. It is located just north of the Village Hall and includes a walking path, numerous native plant gardens, a picnic area, and a gazebo. Trustee, and please forgive me, Trustee Georgian Derbstein applied for and received a $10,000 grant that helped with the funding, and both she and her husband, George, donated the gazebo. Under the guidance of Trustee George Derbstein, the village sponsored the 4th year in a row a very successful Civil War reenactment. We have had over 100 reenactors and close to 1,000 guests over 2 days in the late October. Much of the rest of our efforts went toward maintaining and or improving our infrastructure throughout the village. For example, we spent $300,000 on road repaving, curb repair, and crack sealing. Completed a second of a 3-year project that involved excavating drainage channels throughout our larger wetlands facilities, the flows of stormwater, and reduces the chance of flooding. We will complete the project next year. The total project cost exceeds $350,000. We have renegotiated numerous contracts and have managed to save substantial money in doing so. We have granted $380,000 in the state budget for road repairs. Had our entire sanitary system video inspected so as to spot a problem before they became too big a problems. I see that it's a very popular thing that we're doing this year. Removed 88 dangerous trees from around Cranberry Lake and will slowly replace them with new trees. These are just some examples of the village's effort to keep our system running efficiently and effectively. Beyond that, we are proud to be a part of the Round Lake area communities, and we thank you for all including us. Respectfully, Mary Jerry Daly. And thank you, Mayor, for actually sending us that statement. So now it is question and answer time. I will come out there with my microphone. Mayors, you do have a microphone in front of you, and it is time to ask the questions if we have some questions regarding our community. Please raise your hand if you have one. And don't be shy. Somebody has to be first. Or possibly you did such a good job informing everybody that nobody has any questions. Anyone?
Hi, I'm wondering, do we have a date for when the Coast Children's Museum will be here?
I don't have the exact date with me right now, but I believe it'll be in the month of May again, like it was last year.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dulce Ortiz. I'm the Executive Director at Mano a Mano. And so the question that I like to pose to the mayors is, as we know, the census is very critical to the Round Lake area. we service our immigrant community, and we know that that's a hard-to-count population. So I wanted to hear from each and every one of you of what are your plans to make sure that our people are counted, and I know some of you have already met with Mano a Mano to come up with those plans, so I wanted to hear from the rest of the mayors. Thank you.
Well, for the first time, the Village of Round Lake Beach has a complete count committee, which is working with the census, federal government census organization. We're partnered with Mano a Mano, as well as the Round Lake Area Library and several other community or associations to reach out to all those in our communities. Round Lake Beach is what we need to focus on, of course, but most of those other organizations cover all of the Round Lake area, so we're all going to benefit from all the residents being counted in all of our areas, because we share elected officials for federal government, for county, for state, so the more people get counted here, the better benefit for all of us. But that's what we're doing, the complete count, and we're working very hard on that to make sure we get the word out, and door to door in some cases, and we're looking forward to have a great count. So make sure you spread the word too. Information, and just letting people know about it through different ways. Our webpage, the village, our village newsletter. The Census Bureau has been working with all of us, I'm sure, with an array of emails sent to us talking about what they're looking for, programs that they want to set up. It's been working with the clerk's office, with administration, and it's our duty and commitment to make sure that we work with them and comply with any of their requests. But the key thing is getting the word out and making sure that the people are informed.
We've also met with the census a couple times. I met them personally. They're going to set something up at our village hall on our water. When people pay their water bills, it's pretty massive when they come in that day. They all want to come in, so we're going to set it up for those 2 days. We'll have something in our boardroom set up for Spanish and English, and we want to make sure that they're all counted and that they're not afraid to walk in there. So we'll have people there staffed to make sure everybody gets counted.
Yes, we're trying to get the word out also. We have a newsletter that we go out, and there's a flyer, and it's been inputted, and just have people available to explain what the census is and not to be afraid to use it. If we have to walk the streets, we're willing to do that as well. It's important.
To tap on that, one of the things I've been made very aware of is that we're counting our senior community. So going into Oak Hill, going into Crest Hill, or Hillcrest would be very important to get that demographic also.
Well, then I have one. There are so many really wonderful activities, and Mayor Rich Hill, you mentioned that there is possibly a lack of communication or a lack of the community knowing. So with each village, what is the best way for somebody in the community to find out what's going on and what kind of community activities are available?
We've spent quite a bit of time upgrading our website over the last couple of years. That's always the best way nowadays. You don't have to try to reach somebody by phone or talk to somebody. You just go online and boom, the information's right there. We'll have one for both the village and also for the Cultural Center here. Also on Facebook, our police department's out there very active on Facebook, as well as the Cultural Center is very active on Facebook. So social media is the best way. Other than that, our newsletter, we put out one every couple of months, but again, that's not as often and it's not as updated. As you know, when you put in print, as soon as it's printed, it's outdated. So always try to go electronic.
We've tapped onto that neighborhood. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it, but I know our police department, they have their own website, and they always use that to inform people of what's going on in the village of Round Lake Park, as well as our website, our Facebook newsletter, trying to keep the public informed.
Also for us through the website, and we do a newsletter every month. We put it in the water bills, so that's our biggest thing, is how we communicate with our residents.
Okay, I'm going to say the nasty thing. There are so many ways that you can promote a topic, but the best thing that can happen is by word of mouth and to tell people that they need to seek the information. We can't go door to door and tell you about every community event there is, and I'm always surprised that, I didn't know that. I didn't know you had that at the meeting. I wasn't aware of this thing. All you got to do is click. We all like to point and click, but just talk to people, talk to their neighbors, and did you know, hey, it was on the webpage.
Yeah, I want to say with our farmers market, a lot of the posting that we had, we even had our wonderful mayor get up with his guitar, but sharing it on social media is how I heard a lot, wow, I didn't know there was a farmers market. And we've been doing it for years. It's a wonderful way of getting that information. Any other questions? All right, then I'm going to thank you all. Can we have a round of applause for our mayors and the wonderful information they provided today? Thank you for them, and thank you for being here. Before we close this afternoon, I would like to have some of our local businesses take advantage of one of the things of being a chamber member. If there is any local information or current events that anybody would like to announce to let everybody know, now is the time. Please raise your hand. We have several.
All right, so I'm Mary Vallely. I'm with Baird and Warner. I am a senior real estate specialist, so I do a lot of work in identifying resources for seniors. So this coming Monday morning, we are having at our office in Libertyville a ElderWorks directory release party. And that directory is probably about an inch thick, and it is filled with all kinds of information for anyone that is concerned or working with seniors. So we're serving breakfast. It's a great networking. It's an opportunity to meet a lot of people. So we would love to have you show up. We're handing those out. The police, I've been handing cases to them every year so they have the resources. So if you'd be interested, it is Baird and Warner in Libertyville, 200 North Milwaukee, 7:30 in the morning till 10. Drop in, have some coffee, something to eat, grab a directory, and we'd love to see you there.
Hello, my name is Trustee Scott Nichols from the Village of Round Lake Beach. I just wanted to let everyone know, and I know Rich talked about it a moment ago, we have a concert series every winter. We'll have 4 this year, so the next 4 months. But this Saturday, Mike and Joe will be here. They are great time, good events, so please come out and see us. Starts at 7:30 this Saturday, January 18th.
Hi everyone, my name is Dulce Dominguez and I am the Community Engagement Manager at Mano Mano Family Resource Center. We are so happy to be here and also to be kicking off our 20th year anniversary. So we'll be kicking off our festivities with our annual gala. I know we used to have it here a couple years ago. So this year we're hoping that you can join us on Saturday, April 18th. We will be at the Doubletree in Mundelein. If you have any questions, let me know. You can email us or check out our website, mafrc.org. And I hope you can join us.
Good afternoon. My name is Jim DiDonato. I am the director at the Round Lake Area Library. We're located directly next to the Park District. I tell everybody it's the place with the pool. So, over the next couple of weeks, we have a blood drive coming up that will be the donations will be in honor of someone who is the parent of one of our trustees. After that, we have the Seed Expo, and that was on Mayor Hill's, one of his slides. Carolina Shotland, who is one of our trustees, she runs the Garden Club and the Seed Expo and the Seed Catalog at the library. The Expo will be here at the Civic Center, so again, continuing that notion of partnerships that works out for everyone. And again, we hope that you can all attend that. In a couple of weeks, we also have a Donuts with the Director meeting. It will be at the library. I think it's on a Saturday. So come in, you can catch up with me, you can ask me questions about the library or share some suggestions. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Sergio Hernandez. I am the owner of Drago Martial Arts. I just want to say thank you for the Round Lake area to open the doors for my small business, and looking forward to keep working with you, with all the 4 communities. Thank you.
Then I'm going to take the mic because my name is Casey Torrey. I run the Edward Jones office in the village of Round Lake. We're having several different coffees in the morning, as well as several different events with the upcoming election of what does it mean for your portfolio, and more importantly, the Secure Care Act just passed, which means if you're not already taking required minimum distributions, your estate planning, everything just changed. They just passed that right before Christmas. So if you haven't talked to your financial advisor, please do so. And if you don't have one, come see me.
Hi, my name is Don Newby. I wear 2 hats. I'm with the Rotary, Fox Lake Round Lake Rotary, and also the Village of Round Lake. The Rotary this Saturday at 6 p.m. is having a chili cook-off. It's a fundraiser for our neediest kids, our Christmas party every year, and we service about 400 neediest kids every year. So if you're not busy, come on out to the Fox Lake American Legion, and we'd love to see you there. Thank you.
Any other announcements? Well, then I would like to wrap up by saying, have you listened today, we have a lot of nonprofits, a lot of community events, a lot of ways to participate. We are very grateful to have such great partnership as the mayors. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to the Chamber, to our sponsors, ComEd, Catered Productions, as well as Bun Cake. Can we have another round of applause for our mayors, and thank you for being here today.